Ooh.
Shh, we don't know what we're gonna find at the end of this. What are we gonna do at the end of this?
You're going to get slippy.
That's one way of putting it. Well, I'll think of something. It's always me who has to get his hands dirty. Slippy, we're here. It's...
Slipmeyer! I can't even count how many regulations you've breached. Halibut?
the door.
Harold! Whew! Everyone!
Look, let's not be hasty. If I could just show you my plans, I was only trying to...
I'll show you a plan!
Eesh!
Oh, shit! My hand!
Well, that settles it, I suppose.
Thanks, Chris.
Is he okay? Gosh, I was overcome with emotion thinking of the children. I hope I didn't overdo it. Please no one tell them about this.
Chris, relax. It's over. And so is our chance at launching after wasting all this time. Oh well, may as well spice things up a bit in the meantime.
Relaunch chance over? Whatever do you mean, Professor?
I mean that the solar winds are due to begin again, and soon. Too soon. After these shenanigans, we simply won't have the requisite preparation complete in order to meet the safe launch window.
To say nothing of repairing the damage, Slippy's icy debacle probably caused our sensitive instruments.
Well, can't we risk it? What's the worst that would happen?
Well, if we launch late, we run the risk of the solar flares crippling the ship, like last time, and tumbling back into the ocean. And there's no telling if our next landing will be so lucky.
And if we launch on time?
My calculations are nearly complete, but if we time it just a second wrong, we might sink deeper or use up our remaining fuel just to move a few miles away.
And even if your calculations were already done, what with the all-water time theft, it'd probably be late by now anyway.
Time theft? Speak sense, Harold.
I tried to tell you that day in your lab, but we got distracted with the probe. Me and the Lightkeepers, I was gonna tell you I joined them. They're a bunch of teenagers. We found proof that Allwater were shaving a bit off every hour to help with the energy crisis. So we had even less time than we thought all along.
What are you talking about? How and why do you shave an hour?
So we have to do less work, and to save energy. And, well, actually not every hour, only the ones in daytime. By now, apparently, it adds up to 2 full hours each day.
How? But we would have noticed.
But we didn't because of the introduction of all-water digital time, and they controlled the time in tiny little bits so it would always feel normal.
So, Allwater fooled us more than Slippy, and we must have... Wait. Saving on daytime? Ah! Harold, you wonderful, beautiful schmuck! If what you say is true, and these days the truth is stranger than one of your little head stories, then it's exactly the opposite of what you think. We have more time than ever.
We do? How does that work?
Think, Harold. If what we perceived as a day of 24 hours was actually only 22, that means that we haven't actually reached today's date yet. Now, let's see. All-water digital time was introduced 8 years ago. Cyrus, check my math.
Well, even if they were shaved up to 1, then 2 hours after a few years, we should have more than 4 months left until the launch window ends.
Ha! Much as I love it when you're wrong, that means...
My calculations were correct, but time was wrong.
And it explains why we thought the space bacteria would degenerate faster than modeled. Oh, if we had just done the experiment at nighttime.
Oh, wait. Then... And that means... And I was so blind. Time. All along.
It's about time, right, bros?
It's true. This is a matter of urgency. Time is of the essence. We know we were onto something when we noticed Yava's watch didn't match up with the official time.
And what time do you call this? Party time.
The time is...
I know what the time is.
Time is of the essence.
First time's the hardest.
At the same time,
A stitch in time saves 9.
4 at the same time is quite a feat.
and time is running out.
In the meantime,
We don't have time to put you on a proper routine.
But maybe this whole time...
All water is trying to steal time.
Just what do you suppose I'm doing with the stolen time?
Maybe taking the time for yourself?
Now,
If and when the time is right.
We might even have some time for ice skating. Why not give him
All the time.
Your first time at Quick Soup Colorfish?
this will be the last time I explain it to you, so for once, pay attention.
There's no
Time.
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 time?
Time.
time!
All that time.
We're going to need a few words with the Madam CEO if we're to get the exact numbers of when and how much time they've stolen. Speaking of which, has anyone seen her?
We didn't see her on any of the cameras. Nor Zoya. Do you think they escaped being trapped?
Unlikely. They were probably incapacitated by Slippy as part of his plan.
They could be anywhere. We'd better split up and find them. Maybe we should start in the Allwater district.
Why don't we just ask him?
I don't think he's in a talkative mood.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I was just so overwhelmed. How was I supposed to know he'd take it so badly?
It's okay, Chris. At least he didn't get away. Cyrus, let's go with Harold and Wii-U to the All-Water District. Major, I imagine you'll want to stay with Slippy. Everyone keep in touch via PDA and don't leave any stone unturned.
Let's go.
Oh, and Bridget, can you tell the others over the Tannoy system to search whichever area they're in?
It's them. They look fine, and not at all hungry.
Do I look fine?
Well, I mean, it could have been worse. Those snacks are tasty.
Yes. I could have been tied up with you. Can someone please tell me what is going on?
Slippy engineered this whole hoax. He was never really working on a relaunch procedure. His plan was to freeze the planet into a giant ski resort.
How absurd! Professor, I expected better from you.
So there's no relaunch plan after all? I can't believe it. I'll never fly this thing.
Madam CEO, I could say the same about you. We know all about the time hoax, but it's still imperative you clear up a few things.
What good will it do? Still, I suppose it can't hurt at this point. And you did untie me. Fire away.
Firstly, when did you start the time-skimming process?
About 8 years ago. For the good of the ship, of course.
And how much did you shorten the days?
Well, we started with 30 minutes, just letting the clocks run a tiny bit faster during the daytime. Every 2 years since then, we made gradual transition to another half an hour shorter.
And I thought it was my fault those plants were growing slowly.
Cyrus, stop blathering about plants and run the math for me, please.
Okay, so that means 365 hours in the first 2 years, 730 to 2 years after that, then 1,095 hours, and then 1,460 hours, which adds up to 3,650 hours. So we have 152 days left. Or what we think of as today is in fact 152 days away.
Whoa, that's a lot of time. But how come none of us noticed?
Aha. This is the clever part. We tacked the shifts to the summer-winter time changes. People's circadian rhythms always go a bit haywire around then anyway. Subtle, no?
So we have time, but no procedure after all.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Yes, we kind of worked on a thing.
A thing? Kinda.
A secret backup relaunch procedure. We were never taken in by Slippy's showmanship, and sorry to say, Madam CEO, your blind trust in him.
So it took me a while, but I got a little something theoretically up and running. But I was stymied by the time theft messing with my calculations of velocity. That's why my simulation failed that day, you know.
We even double-checked, triple even, and everything.
Well, I won't forget your flagrant distrust in me anytime soon. But I suppose your rebellious streak has borne some interesting fruits. You must explain this procedure to me so we can work on the press release.
So we really might still launch after all?
Yes, yes. Funnily enough, there'll be plenty of time for all that. But now, I need tea and a nap.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day. Tea nap sounds good to me.
Spicy tea.
Spicy tea?
Come on, you two. Let's leave Zoya and the CEO to get some rest. I'm sure it was exhausting eating all those snacks. We can all meet in the morning to go over next steps.
Okay, I suppose we can postpone the agenda until then. I imagine there will be much that needs doing, including some serious PR damage control.